Well, Marvel's Avengers Vs X-Men is now officially done. Their last issue was released Wednesday there. I've read it, and now it's time to sort of do a comic book review of the entire series and what I thought was good or bad about it. And be warned, there's going to be spoilers, so you have been warned. Now, Marvel's Avengers Vs X-Men is a 13 issue series from issue 0 all the way up to 12. And the story is with it is the Phoenix Force is coming back to Earth. It's making its way over to Earth and it's going to be finding a new host. And that host is this girl called Hope. Now, I haven't read Marvel Comics in a long time, so I was completely lost in what was happening. But I kind of got the drift of what was happening. You know, the current situation that unfolds throughout the story. Basically, Cyclops and his sort of gang of X-Men live in this little sort of island called Utopia, and Cyclops is preparing Hope for the Phoenix comes because he believes Hope is the key to bring a new race of mutants. However, the Avengers, namely Captain America, believe that the Force is going to bring destruction to the planet, and they believe they need to get Hope in order to prevent it. So Captain America goes over to Utopia to talk to Summers about it, to, hand over Hope. Cyclops doesn't like it, and ergo the battle begins on Utopia Island, and we have our mini-series. And the thing I'm probably going to say is, it starts off really slow. I mean, yes, the 0 issue is just basically kind of a wee sort of prelude before the main series, and even issue 1, it takes a while to get into it. It only has one big scene in that issue, but issue 2 from onward brings in the fighting that we were expecting, and the story comes really close. It's basically just about Hope and and this Phoenix Force that's coming, and so it's just about like what they believe in. I think this story is pretty cool, but I was wondering, right, this was going to be a 12 issue comic and I was wondering, they're not going to, the X-Men, as much as they had a great comeback with First Class and really kind of memorable characters, but Wolverine and Beast are part of the Avengers and were fighting for the Avengers. And I kind of felt they were probably going to lose this battle. And this is where the twist of the story comes. This happens in issue 5. The Phoenix Force is coming, and it's almost there. It's ready. It's Hope is there. She's ready, sort of to take the full front. 5 X-Men: Cyclops, Emma Frost, Magritte, Colossus, and Namor, are there to sort of, to be there with Hope, and also you have the Avengers with Captain America, Iron Man, and co. But Iron Man's built this machine to sort of just try and destroy it, and when he fires it, it doesn't really destroy the Phoenix, it separates it into parts, and we get the biggest twist through the whole story, the Phoenix 5. The Phoenix 5 literally changed the whole, strategy of the whole comic. Now the X-Men have the complete utter hand. But there's a problem with that, because the thing is, as I know, the Phoenix can sort of manipulate people in a way. Like it can make, if at first they'll become like sort of good tutors, they think they're doing good, but then at some point they're going to become total destruction, because all they see is destruction. And the thing is, Hope sort of leaves Cyclops, because there was a thing that they said, right? Cyclops, after, this is like on issue 6, Cyclops said to Hope, like, you don't have to be here now. Meaning, like, Cyclops has no point for Hope, but why still keep her? Why does Hope still feel kind of trapped? When Hope wants to sort of leave, Cyclops, forbids that, he doesn't want her to go. You start to realise that maybe Cyclops still needs her in some way, or maybe that he's afraid of her. So, and then the battle sort of commences. Now, my favourite moment is when Spider-Man kind of makes a really big sacrifice in this issue. And this is where you see that the guy has complete and utter balls in doing it. He's literally taking one for the team. But other than that though, this was actually a really good sort of miniseries, and I think it's a miniseries that Marvel kind of needed. Now of course, the end kind of leads up to the whole Marvel Now, but I do believe this is what Marvel needed because DC were completely kicking their arse. And this is what they kind of needed, but in a way I wish this wasn't really I wish this was kind of like a 6-issue series, and where like all the other issues would contain, you know, like a part of the story, so we get a kind of more bigger picture. I will talk more about the sort of tie-in issues to this series, you know, in a separate sort of review, but I kind of wish they did a little bit more for it, and I felt it went on too long. Like, you know, 12 issues, fine, but they're releasing it like sort of 2 issues per month, and I kind of think it went on too long, and I was kind of like really losing interest, and I just really wanted to, you know, get this over with. But I'm glad they stuck with it as much as they can, because the end result is really good, and the last issue is pretty damn good. So I would actually say try and pick these issues out. There's like 13 issues, 0 to 12. The 0 issue you don't really need to worry about as much. You only need to focus more on the 1 to 12. But it's a really sort of good main series that Marvel's done, and I think it's probably helped, you know, people who weren't really into comics get into comics more now because of this.